Hi guys, I'm Marshall Burtcher and welcome to Thriving Beyond Codependency and Rejection. I'm a coach, a life coach that specializes in helping people transform, emerge out of codependency and the fear of abandonment, which shows up as a fear of rejection, a fear of that we're not worthy, we're not lovable. And I took this on because this was my own journey. I grew up in a narcissistic and codependent childhood home. We really struggled to have emotions at all. That was the big thing for us, is you don't have emotions, but other people are, have the permission to have the emotion, not just us, not the children. What I found as I worked out my own issues with codependency and the fear of rejection was that I had developed codependency as a coping mechanism for love neglect. We were not given the love we needed and that we deserve in order to thrive from a premise or foundation of who we are. Instead, we got the toxic messages, right? We got the shame, we got the criticism, we got the indifference, we got the adult responsibilities a lot of the times. We ended up parenting the parent, and the parent guilted us for having childhood needs, expectations, and desires. So in my own journey out of codependency, I found that there was a real need for a concise structure that created a framework for us to interact with life in a way that made sense. Because one of the big challenges I kept coming across is that everything in the world that was healthy seemed to work backwards to what I was taught. And codependency really is fundamentally backwards. We're seeking our identity, our value, our love through someone else's opinion or approval, or their own self. Well, I started looking at life from that angle. I'm like, okay, so things are backwards. What do I need to understand in order to thrive in my life? And so I got deep into the research and into a lot of experiments about what it meant to have power in our lives, to really own ourselves, what it meant to thrive, what it meant to have an emotional peace and actually have emotional aptitude where I could move through difficult feelings and that I could receive and connect with the delicate ones. Because, frankly, if you struggle with codependency or abandonment, love's a scary thing, right? Well, we gotta learn how to tolerate that. We gotta learn how to embrace uncertainty. We have to master the ability to let our emotions flow rather than stuffing them, hoarding them, ignoring or denying them or projecting them onto others. One of the biggest challenges was reconnecting with the real self within. Because we've got a huge amount of shame, a huge amount of numbness, and a lack of conscious awareness about who we are. So we don't really know what we want. We don't know what boundaries really are. We don't know what it's like to be loved for who we are, much less liked or enjoyed with or connected to. We don't know this because it wasn't taught to us. We were not given this. We were robbed of it through childhood emotional neglect, through narcissistic abuse, and through the inadequacy of our parents' skills or our caregivers' skills. And so my journey in this helped me create a structure that I call the 10 laws. And these 10 laws allow anyone that's struggling with codependency or narcissistic abuse to begin to understand the world in a way that makes them powerful in the world. It gives them the tools, the mindsets, and the healing necessary to thrive in the world. So you can have relationships that are loving and kind and safe. You can have friendships that are stable and reliable and dependable. You can have a centered, grounded sense of yourself and what you want. You can handle conflict. You can embrace disappointing other people, and you can say no. So I got this saying here, your happiness is on the other side of no. That's one of those backwards things for us codependents. We wouldn't think that. No, well, happiness is about saying yes. For us, it's about saying no. It's about saying no to the things that really don't work for us. It's about saying no to the dependency, that the dependent impulse we have in us to please or fix or caretake or rescue or avoid or control other people. And so I created this channel as part of my coaching endeavor. I want to impact the world with this, so that if you're struggling with codependency, if you're struggling with narcissistic abuse, you can be free too. I'd love to be your coach, to contribute to your world and expand you that way. The channel has a lot of options. There's a healing playlist, there is the sanity check, there's exploring codependency, and there's a lot more coming up. I've been at this for about 9.5 years now. I certified as a shamanic practitioner and then as a relationship coach back in 2009, 2010. If you want to know more about me, you can go to my website, freetheself.com, and learn more there. I do coach one-on-one, and I also have a course called the 10 Laws Foundation course. That helps you start to understand and adopt the 10 laws to your life in a way that uses experiments. So you're not just reading material, you're adopting material through experience and beginning to understand how it works for you. And that's really the key here. Breaking free is all about experience for us. That's how we learn what the world really is. We didn't get that privilege growing up, where our childhoods were likely, if it was anything like mine, absorbed and taking care of the parent and not being able to play, not being able to discover, not being able to make mistakes and feel safe about it. So if any of this resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe and push the little bell too, because that'll give you updates to the videos I put out weekly. And also, there's links below. Connect with me on my website, on Facebook. I've got an exclusive Facebook group called Thriving Beyond Codependency and Narcissistic Abuse. Connect with me there. And if you want one-on-one coaching, reach out to me through my website. I have limited seating in that, so sometimes you'll be put on a waiting list, and sometimes you'll be able to take action right now. And if you want to dive in right now you want to make that change, I invite you to check out Foundation. That course is going to change the way you see the world. It's going to radicalize the way you see yourself, because you can go, oh, I'm worthy of love. I can occupy the space of love. I can be my own authority. I can say no and not feel guilty about it. I can say yes and not feel guilty about it. I can disappoint others and let them fix their feelings. I can let them manage it. I no longer have to carry the burden of their feelings. These are the things that clients report repeatedly in using the Foundation. So if you got questions, I welcome them. Post them below. Share this video with people you know that'll benefit from it and like it. Thank you guys. We'll see you here in the channel and online. Bye-bye.